In this movie, I want to talk briefly about what we do when we have a multiple user team. In Revit, your entire project lives in a single project file. This raises a problem when you have more than one person on a team because only one person can access the project file at a given time. So this would not make it very practical for teams to work together. So what Revit offers is a feature called work sharing. With work sharing, you have a central file, and this file is typically stored on a network server. It can be any network server, any map drive will do the job. And then each user on the project team creates what we call a local version or a local copy of this file that they actually do their day-to-day work in. The local copy is created literally on the local hard drive, and it maintains a connection back to the central file. And what happens is every so often, the users on the team will synchronize with the central file. That'll take their changes and publish them to the central file and any changes made by their colleagues and bring them down and update their local copy. And in so doing, everybody is able to work together on a project team and all make changes to various parts of the project. Now, the challenge that we have is in a video course such as this, it's a little difficult for me to demonstrate and certainly to provide an exercise file for you to work in on this. So what I'm going to do is simply demonstrate the process that you follow to open and create a local copy. And I'm going to do this because many of you are probably working in firms where you work together in a team, and it's going to be important for you to understand that probably most projects that you're going to work on in Revit are going to be opened and created this way. So you should at least know the basic steps. But I definitely recommend that you talk to your IT professionals or your BIM or CAD manager and get the details of how things are done in your firm. Think of this as really just an overview of the concept and a tool to help you get started. So what I've done is set up sort of a simulated network here on my system, and I've created a file called workshare. And I'm going to show you how you would access that if it's a work sharing file. So I would use my open link, or I could go to my application menu to get there, and go to my network server. In this case, it's on my D drive. And I've just created a file called Your Office Network to simulate this location. When I open that file and I select the central file, in this case, it's a file called workshare, the most important setting is down here at the bottom of the screen. There's this Create New Local checkbox. And we want to absolutely make sure that that's checked. Now, it's checked by default, so you shouldn't have to do anything here. It should already be that way. But you want to just double check before you click open that that's checked. And what that will do is instead of opening the central file, which we don't want to do, that would be considered a bad thing, we want to make sure we're creating a local copy. Let me show you what that looks like. If I restore this down here, here's the file called workshare. And notice that at the end of that file, it's added my username, Paul Aubin, to the end of the name. So I'm now working on a local copy of this workshare-enabled project. I could go about my work, make whatever changes I want to make, and then when I'm ready, I would go to the Collaborate tab or the Quick Access toolbar and use my Synchronize with Central command. And you can see it located right here and right here. This would maintain the location back to the central file. It knows where that file lives. And when I click OK, it would update any changes that I've made to the central file. And if any of my colleagues had made changes, it would pull those changes down and update my local copy as well. That's the way most teams are working together using a Revit environment. Now, for the remainder of the course, we're going to work in standalone projects. But I thought it was important for you to at least understand that work sharing is going to probably be the way that most of your projects are going to be set up. And so you're at least aware of it. I definitely recommend you talk to some of your colleagues in your CAD and BIM manager and make sure that you've got the process down for what you do there at your firm. But that's the basic steps that are involved in opening and creating a new local file.